Here I go, here I go, here I go again. What is my weakness? X-Men. Hey, bub. I'm the best at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice. Do you make chimichangas? X-Men Dark Phoenix. Everyone's hating on this movie. It's not terrible, it's not great, it's not awful. Let's talk about it. It's just under 2 hours, it's PG-13, it's written and directed by Simon Kinberg. The direction part is pretty good. The writing part, the story, that's not so good. The key to this movie, because I actually enjoyed the film. I had a good time. The key to this is low expectations. I had the lowest of expectations. I thought this movie should not be released because, you know, the rights to all the X-Men have now gone over to Disney. I figured, why release this movie? I thought it was going to be a complete train wreck. So my expectations were on the floor. So maybe that's why I was like, yeah, you know, it wasn't that bad. The cast. I love this cast. This cast is the key to this movie being enjoyable. James McAvoy as Professor X. Excellent. Michael Fassbender as Magneto. He's awesome. He's great in this movie. Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. She is Jean Grey, and I thought she did a really good job. She's older now, and I saw Jean Grey when I saw her. I thought she really nailed this. With what she's given, I thought she did a great job. Jessica Chastain. She was not what I thought she would be. I'm not going into spoilers here, so yeah, a little surprised there. But for what she was given, she did a fine job. Alexandra Shipp is Storm. We'll talk about the other X-Men movies in just a little bit, but I like her here. I could see her carrying on as Storm. I think all these actors, unfortunately, are going to be fired because they're not going to go to the Disney universe of Marvel, but that's too bad because I do like the cast here. And there was a surprise cameo from a character that I really like, and I was happy to see that character in this movie. One thing about this movie, I was watching this and I stayed through the credits to see if there was a post-credit scene. There is no post-credit scenes in this movie. You don't need to stick around for the credits. But I would recommend sticking around for the score. I was loving the music in this movie and I couldn't quite figure it out. And then I looked it up on IMDb and sure enough it's Hans Zimmer. Okay, there was a reason I liked the score. The movie is probably more heavy on drama and scenes between the characters than, let's say, X-Men Apocalypse, which I really didn't like. We're gonna talk about these movies in a little bit, but X-Men Apocalypse, I didn't think they got Apocalypse right, and everyone's just kind of showing up and like Psylocke and kind of, I didn't think the scenes were very good. This movie's got some good drama, some good dialogue between the characters. I did enjoy it. It's a little slow. There's only probably 3, maybe if you consider 4, the beginning set pieces here, action set pieces. So maybe that's why people weren't quite enjoying it. But I did. I liked the interplay between the characters. Some people were upset that, oh, Professor X wouldn't do that and Beast wouldn't do that. Well, I don't know. I think it was okay. I wasn't getting all upset about that. There is a train scene at the end, a big fight, where Magneto is spectacular. Some of the best Magneto we've ever seen. We've seen some good Magneto from Michael Fassbender, but this is pretty good stuff. He's pretty ruthless. So yeah, I mean, we got the Dark Phoenix. You guys know the Dark Phoenix story. Do I have to go over this? Jean Grey, you know, she's special. She's a very powerful mutant as it is. I thought last movie she had the Phoenix Force, but we'll overlook that. Charles puts up some barriers because she has some bad things happen to her in her past. When Charles Xavier took her into the school, put up some mental barriers to keep her stable. She acquires the Dark Phoenix power, and then the barriers start crumbling, and she's way too powerful, and she's got this darkness about her, so the X-Men have to stop that. And there's a side kind of story going on too, which I thought was pretty good. Let's go over these movies here, since this is the last X-Men movie from Fox. And I'm a fan, we've already established that. This is the first X-Men movie. I rewatched it. It's great. It's still great. There's no Wolverine in this movie, by the way. So, spoiler there. X2. X2 remains one of the best superhero movies made. I dare you to prove me wrong. X-Men The Last Stand. This was the first attempt at doing the Dark Phoenix story. At the time, when I saw this movie, I was pissed off. I thought this movie, it gave me a headache when I saw it. I've watched it since. It was okay, it was better. But Professor X being, like, obliterated, that really bothered me in this movie. And then, of course, he came back and they never explained why, so... It's not as bad now. X-Men Origins Wolverine. So kind of same thing here. When I saw this movie, I was beyond angry because what they did with Deadpool. But since they fixed Deadpool, I can forgive them and maybe turn my brain off and enjoy this movie. What did I drop? I dropped all kinds of things. Hold on, I'll be right back. The next one we got. The next one we got was, I think, was it the Wolverine? Kind of a similar theme. So, I really liked this movie until the end. Like, I loved this movie until the end. This could be my favorite Wolverine movie until the Silver Samurai was a big robot with the old dude in it, instead of the actual Silver Samurai. Silver Samurai is one of my favorite characters in Marvel. We're finally getting a figure. And they butchered him in here. So, kind of same thing with the Deadpool. And then we moved on to, I believe, X-Men First Class. This is excellent. I love this movie. This is with the new crew, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, this, and Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. And this is awesome. This is awesome stuff. And probably even better was Days of Future Past, the Rogue Cut, of course. Love this movie. Awesome. Awesome. Two great movies there. And then we'll just sort of put these together. We got some Deadpool movies with some X-Men in there. And both, I love both these movies. It's my understanding Ryan Reynolds will keep being Deadpool in the Disneyverse. So that's a good thing because I have the hot toy. That's a good thing. Then we got X-Men Apocalypse. I really have to turn my brain off to enjoy this. Apocalypse is one of my favorite villains. And they're just running around in their costumes in this one. I think actually Dark Phoenix might be better than Apocalypse. And Dark Phoenix might be better than The Last Stand. So that's how I'm going to rank this one. And then we have Logan, a masterpiece. A different movie, you know, into the future. But, yeah, a Western, a masterpiece. So, okay, that's where I sit on this movie. It's not terrible. I enjoyed many aspects of this film. I enjoyed these actors and their performances. The special effects, the fights, they are pretty good. There's nothing big and grand and stupid like Apocalypse. It's more based in reality. More scaled down. But I really enjoyed these characters here. I love this cast. So if you love this cast, go see this movie. If you didn't like these movies, you're not going to like this movie. All right? Again, no post-credit scene. Well, I hope that helps. If you want to see it, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. With that, have a great weekend. Good night. And as always, I will see you on the new.